In case you didn't already know from the title, I'm advocating that you should just make a website. Honestly speaking, what does it even mean to be an artist anymore? Especially an artist in arts and entertainment, because the industry is just changing so rapidly due to, technology, that and like the current state of the economy, the current state of the internet. Just everything is kind of, a little chaotic right now. And I've just been watching the industry change. My teachers were always talking about, like, if you can do it without the price tag of, a really prestigious college, go ahead and do it. YouTube University, that shit. Use the internet's resources, because truly there is a lot of information. There's just been this massive shift of visibility in working creatives. It's changed the hiring process, how people are scouted. A lot of artists have found themselves in positions where they're self-employed. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing like a massive transition from how things used to work to how they work now. Like before, they were able to host like a talent scouting competition for the next biggest superstar. But nowadays it's whoever the internet deems is the new superstar. Like if people are liking what you're creating, you're just kind of next up. Even if it's not like on a mega scale like Beyonce or like Michael Jackson, that kind of like old fame is definitely, I don't think we're ever gonna see anything like that again. But now it's just shifted. Like now people are looking at like what, Charlie D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, Addison Rae. They're not fed to us through an avenue like Nickelodeon or Disney anymore. Essentially, it's the people's vote. It's like a big popularity contest. And it's not even just the entertainment industry, it's other industries as well. Retail right now is really suffering because people prefer to shop online. Once the panini started, everybody was on Zoom. Buildings are now left empty because everybody is working from home now. Some people still haven't gone back into the office. And with the entertainment industry, it's the same way. Bitches is just online now. That's where we at. And I love being online because it's definitely a chance to connect with people you probably wouldn't have connected with if you didn't have social media. And for artists that work in, arts and entertainment, there already isn't an established path. I think the old way was that, you graduated high school, you went to college, you got a degree, and then you went into a safe job. But now I feel like we're seeing that, maybe that's still not even safe, That and in like creative fields, people just want to see your portfolio. They want to know if you can do the work. And I said this in a previous video, but I think that a lot of industries are going to have an influx of young people who are like super good at what they do. And I think it's going to knock them off because it's like, where did you learn this? And it's like, well, I learned it online, actually. It's very easy. You like YouTube University, like there's so many courses you can, like, if you really wanted to know, you could know it and you could find it out. Obviously being attached to some sort of institution helps you like with your network and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, the question is, can you do the work? A really good example of this is the 14-year-old that animated the Lego sequence in Across the Spider-Verse. A 14-year-old animated that sequence because, he was just posting his work online. Imagine being some kid animating with your Legos in your room, and next thing you know, some dude from Sony hits you up like, hey, you want to animate? Like, that is literally insane. Like, just think about it. Something like that, even like, 10 years ago would not be possible, but it's happening now. I want to say even maybe like 7 years ago, that wasn't even possible, but it is now. Understanding and recognizing the patterns of technology kind of means that you get to break the rules in some way. You don't really have to play by traditional systems. I think before, college was like that middleman or that filter between people who really went on to do something and people who didn't. But I think right now we're seeing like the death of the middleman. And I think colleges and like those kind of institutions are kind of the middlemen for some industries. But generally speaking, you don't necessarily have to go to those middlemen anymore to get access to certain information. You can just go online and Google it. Even on like the small portion of the internet that we do use, which is Google. But now you can either post online and be discovered, or post online and like build a community and organize something around whatever you're creating. This year I applied to be a student at the animation track at CalArts. If you go on my YouTube, like you'll see my audition video. I got denied, like I didn't get in, and I was like, what? To me, it's a missed opportunity because why would you not allow me into your school? Do you not see the material? Not to toot my own horn or anything, but really, why would I wait on a school to tell me what I can and cannot do when I can just do it myself? Does it suck that I didn't get into that school? Obviously, because it was like my dream school, but it's not the end, Maybe 20, 30 years ago, that would have been the end, but I have the same tools that they use to get their stuff out. I'm using the same stuff that they're using to make their movies, Obviously, I don't have like a huge team behind me, but with, you know, internet smarts and knowing how to use technology, you can get something popping, you know? Because there really aren't those traditional gatekeepers that there used to be back in the old days. Take any of your social channels and set it to public, anybody can access what you have to put up. And if the information is organized in a way that people can understand it and it can be understood, it gives something people to like rally behind, you can go with that and you can turn it into something. It makes it easier to follow along, to tag along, to subscribe to something. Me as a multi-hyphenate, I just built a website because the thing about the internet is that it levels the playing field. Everything that the big corporations have access to, I have access to too. So it's like, you know, you can't really flex on nobody. You can only really flex your idea and like how you speak to the people. Like, unfortunately, if the shit's whack, people are gonna tell you that the shit is whack. In the past, businesses could get away with doing like shady stuff. And like now online, people are like, they're gonna tell you that they're not gonna buy your stuff anymore and you're gonna be canceled the next week. And then you're gonna be looking stuck on stupid, you know? A lot of businesses are scrambling to try and figure out the market, how to like market to people. It's like, I don't know. I think just big stuff like that is not gonna exist anymore. I just don't think it is. Unless they can find a way to adapt, then sorry babes, you're getting the boot. You're gonna get chopped. You're gonna get cut. Because at the end of the day, I could have a website too. It's really not that much. And if you know how to make your website really cool, you can have something really substantial for yourself. And a lot of the times there's more customization options because I don't necessarily have to post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't have to make 20,000 TikToks and be on live all day because I promote my website, not my social media platforms. And I can just send a newsletter to everybody who's already messing with what I'm doing. If you're new here, I'm Lil Majik and I'm the Swag Wiz, and I'm also a serial project starter and finisher. I've made music projects, animations, webcomics, and I've even gone out to the market to test my ideas to see if they're resonating with people. When I graduated high school, I knew that my path was gonna be different AF because I love technology, like the social aspect of it, and I also love art. I always knew I was gonna be an artist. And I've been doing just that, but except the technology part. I've definitely completed a lot of solo projects. I've accumulated so many skills, above average skills too. But the thing is, I've been lacking on the sharing part. I've documented it, but I just kind of suck at sharing it. For a long time, I wasn't sharing my art in a way that could be easily understood. It's very common for artists to complain about social media algorithms and stuff like that because they're really not built for us. They demand like 12 TikToks, you post at this time, and there's just so many barriers to entry. Building a website allowed me to organize the DNA of my art in a way that could be understood. I really hope that makes sense because on social media they're talking about like all of your different like content pillar. It's like, what? It may get you followers, but it's not gonna get anybody to like rally behind your art. It can be really confusing to know what to post. You hear about artists being burnt out all the time. In the creator space, people just get chewed up and spit out by this machine. But I'm an artist that uses tech, not the other way around. I don't want this machine to like chew me up and spit me out. I have the ability not to participate in something. Like I said, understanding the technology and using it in the same way that the larger corporations do, and oftentimes we have a better understanding of it as well. And for me, having a website just puts the ball back in my court as an artist. I don't have to make 10 TikToks a day. I don't have to show up on stories every day. I can essentially break these rules because I'm always talking about my website, not my social media. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or whatever new social platform arises, those are not the end all be all for my art. And I'm not going to allow it to be the end all be all for my art. I don't want my art to be in the hands of an algorithm when I know that I can just build a website, go outside, literally get my hands dirty in the streets and bring people over to my website. And when I use like Instagram or TikTok as like a host platform, be like, hey, I posted a new YouTube video to people I went and talked out to on the street, because these platforms are notorious for not sharing our stuff for real. Again, I'm Lil Majik and I make art that helps those impacted by bullying feel good now. And I'd love for you to join over 500 readers rediscovering hope in my comic Swag Time today. I'll leave the link in the description. If you made it this far, thank you so much. To other artists and other creatives, I just hope that I'm making sense as it regards to, you know, the state of art, artists, art careers at this point. I wrote a song about the anxiety of being a modern artist with technology and just the state of the world right now. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave it in the end card. It's called Lost in the Machine because, you know, we're a little bit lost in the machine, and it would mean the world for me if you would check that out too. But that's all I have for today. Bye. Peace.